Just a second, you know how it goes. We're just connecting to Instagram, and there we go. Yay! Don't know whether that camera's a little bit high, but we'll see. We'll jolly well see. So you'll never guess what. I'm totally on my own tonight. I'm let loose. I'm footloose. There's nobody here. It's just me. Just me on my own. Have a little slurp. Yeah, I've been let loose. Oh, goodness knows what's going to happen. If it all goes boing, or what is it though? If it all does that, I'm on my own. There's nobody here to sort me out. So I need you to comment. I need you to tell me who you are, where you are, because I need somebody to talk to. Donis might turn up in a minute. I've left the door open for him, which might regret, because next door but one, they're playing football, dogs chasing football, and it's all a bit blinking noisy. Oh, hi, Vanya. I'm glad you're here, because I've got something for you. And I've got a little bit of a tale to tell, so let's just say, oh, Tech. Yeah, you crack on, Tech. Hi, Karen. Hi, Karen. Hi, Patricia. Is it Patricia or is it Pat? Oh, Wigton. My auntie and uncle used to live in Wigton. Ulton, actually, near Wigton. I've got very fond memories of going up there many, many years ago. In fact, I'll tell you how many years ago it is since we used to go up to Ulton. Do you remember that? Well, you don't remember. It's still going. The Very Hungry Caterpillar. That book came out because there was a treasure hunt. I don't know if anybody remembers. There was a treasure hunt associated. Is it with that book? No, it was the same time that book came out. There was another one. It had rabbits in it. And there was a treasure hunt, and there was like something buried somewhere, and you had to follow the clues in this book to find whatever. So it wasn't The Hungry Caterpillar, but they both came out at the same time, because I remember my auntie reading them to us. Hiya, Margaret. How are we doing? And it's Patricia, it's not Pat. It is a small world, isn't it? So yeah, oh, I'm delighted to see you all tonight. So who's been doing what? Tell me your news. Tell me what you've been up to, and we'll just have a natter tonight. I'm not flogging anything. I'm not peddling anywheres. I've got a couple of projects that I want to share how-tos, because on Wednesday we talked about doing the shorts and the longs. And then it's all about Vanya tonight, because Vanya's messaged me and asked to have a look at something. Someone else messaged me and asked to have a look at some cushions, which I can't lay my hands on. I'm like scanning, because you see the quilt here, but actually behind the camera it's like stack, 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 stack. They're just stacks and stacks of boxes of samples. It's a bit unreal. Oh, hi, Fiona. I'm nearly finished. Puffing cushions. Oh my gosh. I give it a twist. Oh, well, you'll have to post your pictures up and let us have a look at your puffins with a twist. Was it the chuffing puffins that you did? Can't remember. I think it is, isn't it? Because did I send those out with the Tweed Club? Yeah, that'd be quite exciting. Because you can, we did a pair of cushions called chuffing puffins. And what we did, we had a load of 3-inch squares, well, roughly. We cut them all down to 3.5 inch. I can't quite remember. Vanya will tell us. Yeah. And, oh, hi, Liz. And we'd got all these squares, and they were all in greys and neutrals and all things like that. So we just cut all the stuff down into these squares and then put them together. And then we made this square, like this square of patched square, should I say, put it right sides together with another fabric and tret it like a half square triangle. And I hope Donis is on his way. And did the chuffing puffins, which looked really good, because the half square triangles being in all shades of grey. Donis, could you shut the door, please, so that we don't have the commentary from the football next door but one. Vanya did stripes instead of squares because I can't do squares yet. Ooh, I'm looking forward to getting my hands on you at the weekend, Vanya. And we'll come to that in a minute. Oh, don't worry, Sue, she can't stay, but we'll catch up later. Hi, Pat. Oh, you've changed your name to Pat and not Patricia. I like that. Hi, Rosemary. You forgot to put, oh, I thought I was doing too well. Don't worry, we can sort that out. Yeah, anyway, we did the half square triangles and they look really good, and it kind of looks like the puffins are on cliffs. So a pair of cushions, which is the half square triangles, you know, because you create two. So yeah. So I'm glad there's lots of you here. So first of all, I'm going to start with so the ladies who are in the bag club, we've got our bag club class on Sunday. Your parcels will be arriving special delivery tomorrow. You should have been getting them today, but unfortunately I was in a pram yesterday, a bit of a car crash on my way to the post office, and I didn't actually feel like getting to the post office. Well, it's a bit more than that. I was going to visit Lal and the grandchildren, and I got as far as Catterick, and I got rear-ended by someone, and the damage to the car doesn't look that much. It's going to cost him £2,500 at least. But I've done me back in. I've really done me back in. So I was at a red traffic light. I'm sat there watching the light, and all of a sudden, he wasn't even the last in the queue. He just caught his accelerator and jumped his car forward and bam into the back of me. Well, I wasn't braced or anything, and I didn't believe it at first. I was like, well, what's just happened? And I looked in my mirror, and we were in this stationary queue, and I'm like, well, somebody hasn't just run into me, because we were all stationary. And I tentatively got out of the car, and he's getting out of his car. I thought, oh gosh, I'm going to get a bit of a, you know. And I'm thinking, what have I done wrong? I haven't done anything wrong. I was parked up with my handbrake on. And anyway, he got a visitor, Ted. Yeah, his foot had caught the accelerator, and he'd lurched his car into the back of mine. And yeah, he's done well over £2 worth of damage, but you know, I've whacked me back. He said, pull over there and we'll, you know, I'll talk to you. So we pulled round the corner, and I got out of the car, and I was like straight away all shaky, and I didn't realise until I set off again that, oh gosh, put me back out right between me blooming shoulder blades. So I never got to the post office because I was a bit I don't know, how can you describe it? I'm not injured enough to stop me doing stuff like that, but shell shocked. I was shell shocked. So anyway, they've all the parcels went out today. Bummer of it is I had to pay extra for next day delivery on a Saturday, which is like, argh. But you will get them all tomorrow, so that's fine. But I don't send them out early so that you can't get a head start, and you know, we've explained all this. So yes, I am okay. It's yeah. Where are we? Oh, thank you. Yeah, Mr. Ted. He's curled up now. He's yeah. I'm okay. Yeah, it is whiplash, but it's not in the neck area. It's a bit lower down. So anyway, we'll get there. But the parcels have gone, but they've gone today. Special delivery. They will all arrive tomorrow. So so that's that. So anyway, so what's everybody else been doing? I'm just going to have a whiz up the messages, make sure I haven't. Oh, Karen's having a problem at the moment. I don't want to cut into my new tweed. It's too pretty. Oh, hi Shirley. Hi Elaine. Oh, where are we? I have read you all. Yeah, so if you don't know what to do, just go on the exclusive group and see Vanya. Oh, by the way, if you asked to go in the exclusive group and you didn't get in, I've got a confession to make. So we always vet everybody. That's enough heckling from the back, Donis. I always vet everybody. All I'm doing is making sure that you are an account and that you're not, because if you're a fake account, you've got your profile picture, which may not even be a person, and then you've got no content in your socials, and that's how we know that you're probably a dodgy account. So unfortunately, if you only have a profile picture and you've never posted, we are more than likely to think you are a dodgy account. But in the checking, I accidentally denied somebody who I thought, oh no, that lady is actually a person. But by the time I'd denied you, if it's you, your information went, oh. So if you asked to join and you can tell you got turned down or you're still waiting, do send me another thing because, so one person I accidentally ejected, which I'm very sorry for if that's you. Fiona's made homemade chicken tikka masala and a Victoria sponge with strawberries. Oh, strawberries and cream. Are the strawberries gorgeous at the minute? They are just coming into the perfect part of this. She's at Filey. She's at Seaside. She's a mermaid, is Fiona.
Oh, yeah.
So anyway, if you are in the exclusive group and you're not knowing what to do with your woolly goodies, have a look because Vanya's posting. She's prolific, I think is the word for you, Vanya. Margaret says a nice soak in the bath and a glass of something. Sounds perfect. Yeah, you can go run me a nice bubbly bath, Donis. Put some of that nice muscle soak in that you stash away. Secrets are coming out now. See, he's gone.
You can't beat.
Oh, here he goes. Here he goes.
You can't beat soaking mussels in white wine.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah. The motor on my wonderful 40-year-old sewing machine finally gave up, so Liz has had to get a new sewing machine and overlocker as my old machine was both. Oh, what have you got? What have you gone for? And do you have... What kind of machines do we all use? I just want to make stuff, but I have to work and then I'm too tired for more. I know it's a bit inconvenient, isn't it, when you've got to go to work? Pen's been in the garden picking produce today. Broad beans already, gosh.
Oh, God, they're early.
Yeah, man, we're up north. It's a bit chillier up here.
Oh,
Raspberries, red currants, spinach and lettuce. Oh, Raspberries having a giggle. So I know that the greens, the lettucey stuff goes all year, doesn't it? Because I used to, many moons ago when I had a proper job, my job was to find and maintain employment for disabled people. And oftentimes there were people who had learning disabilities, and I used to go to this place not far from here, and there's all these massive great greenhouses, and it's just like its own world inside. Growing with Grace it's called. Are they Quakers up there? Yeah. And every morning they used to all stand round and do a bit of a prayer and stuff. It was lovely. It was really nice. And they had the canteen was in a static caravan, and the sofas were full of holes where the mice kind of went in and made holes. So you had to be a bit careful. You know, hygiene was not forefront, but I suppose when you've got all that compost under your fingernails. In fact, that's where the local dustbin cart used to take its, the compost waste, and it's absolutely fascinating. All the stuff goes in, and then the compost stacks up, or the waste stacks up, and it has to reach a temperature of 65 degrees inside before the waste composts, and that sterilizes everything. Because I was like, how do you know when you're getting all sorts of stuff what you could be getting? And that's why 65 degrees sterilizes everything.
Yeah, but tell the best part about it.
What was the best part?
Where they were doing this massive favour for the local council. Then the local council wanted them to pay for a licence. So the £2,500 for a licence. So yeah, not doing it.
Yeah, it doesn't happen anymore. So right, where are we? Oh, Fiona likes jam roly-poly and custard. That's her favourite. Oh, Sheila, you've had a bad fall. Oh, Sheila, what have you done? Do tell us. That's terrible. And are you okay? Oh, hi, Mel. Mel in Kuala Lumpur. Oh, gosh, I've missed a few messages. So Patricia has just made homemade chicken goujons and jam roly-poly. Ooh, is it a nice steamed jam roly-poly? Oh. Liz has a new home. Oh, she's got a machine, a new home combi, and now got brothers. Do you know what? My original machine was a brother, and it was a small one. I thought it had cost a fortune. It was like 200 quid. It was more than I could ever imagine a machine costing. But it did everything. The C on it was only like that, but it did absolutely everything. It's a brilliant machine. Yeah, so Fiona's got a Janome. I've got a Janome now. So the 6700p, what's that? Is that like one of the big ones? I've currently got the Memory Craft and I really like that. But if I was going to get another one, I think I'd go for an Atelier, which is, it's got everything the Memory Craft's got, but it's smaller. So I think that's probably what I would go for next. So Mel is in Kuala Lumpur. Vanya has a simple Singer. Start because I know nothing about sewing machines. I like it. It's fit for the job and simple. That is a perfect way to go, Vanya. Absolutely perfect. Because what you'll find, and anybody watching this now, if you're fairly new to sewing, just start basic. Because what will happen is that as you're developing what you like to do, you will think, oh, right, I could really do with that function. Oh, what have you got on yours? Oh, I like that function. And then you'll start and you'll get a list together in your mind what you want next. So I find the biggest fails is when someone goes to, let's say, show for a new machine. Oops, I think that's grandchildren. Oops, doesn't know what they want. And oops, can you please talk to Fanulia? Can you? You'll have to go outside. Oh, hang on, just a sec, everyone. Here we are. Take it outside, please. Right, we'll do it again, but will you do it out of the doors over there, please? Thank you. There we go. Right, so he's an obedient husband, isn't it? So yeah, go to a show and think, oh, that's a good machine and it's top of my budget, therefore it must be a really good machine, and then get it home and realise it hasn't got this and it doesn't do that. So a really good place to start with a sewing machine is to start simple, work out what functions you use and what functions you like. So like as an example, you've gone and you've bought a machine and it's top end of your budget and it's a really good machine. It's got 300 automatic stitches. But in actual fact, what stitches do we use, ladies? So we probably, at a guess, you've got your straight stitch, your blanket stitch, your zigzag stitch, and your satin stitch. And what do we actually use after that? So if you're buying a machine based on it does all these automatic stitches, they're fab to have, but if they're not what you use, it's the wrong thing. Whereas I would want those like simple 4 stitches, then I would maybe want a 1/4 inch foot, or the Janome, the needle position changes, which is fantastic because I can do, oops, let's go here, it won't wobble as much. Oops, I can put the needle in the center. I can move the needle position so it's a 1/4 inch from the edge at that side, but I can also move it so it's a 1/4 inch from that side, which is fantastic. Do you know what? He's a voice like a foghorn, isn't he? He can whisper across 27 fields. Yeah, so it's always good to just hang back and find out what you want. Right, I've got some comments coming that I haven't read. So Sally's on a Janome as well, and a trusted Baninas. We all learnt to sort of school on Baninas. Now Juki, Karen's got a Juki. Now I've not used a Juki, but I do believe the complete workhorses. And I've met Gary, who is like the rep, isn't it? And yeah, I think probably a Juki is definitely one that I would consider. They do seem to have some good functions. And they started out as industrial machines. And if you ever see these programs on the telly, you know, where they're in sewing factories, loads of them have Jukis. So if like businesses are investing in Juki, it's not that bad, is it? So definitely a brand that I would consider. Oh, hi, Hillary. Hillary's got a Janome Memory Craft too. Yeah, they're good, aren't they? Scissor action, that's what I like. I'll tell you what, Sue and I were working on a quilt together, and it was during lockdown actually when we camped at an old school. It was a fab time, and we were in this classroom and it had carpet on the floor, and I've got my Janome there with the scissor action. So when I've got to the end of the line, I just press the scissors, it cuts the thread, and I don't need to do anything, and I just start again and it goes, and I don't have all those long ends to leave. Sue's machine doesn't have that, and at the end of the day I stood back and my working area was relatively clear. Sue's was like a shag pile carpet, and I realised how much thread you must save with that scissor action. So yeah, up to that point, I just thought it was a luxury, but looking at what was on the floor, I thought, oh wow. So Vanya's just found out how to do reverse sewing this weekend. Imagine, and it's basic. Yeah, but it locks your seams, doesn't it? So you don't have to, well, they stay nice and thin. Lynn's got an atelier, 7th. Right. So what do you think to your atelier, Lynn? That's the one that I would consider. Oh, do you know, I didn't meet. I already know her. When I went to Malvern the other week, there was Jane, the Genome rep. She was there. She's retiring, and she actually lives really close to Sewing Street. So she gave me a number, which I've got to remember where I've put it, and said next time I go to Sewing Street, call in and have a brew. I thought that was absolutely wonderful. So Penn's got a Dukey. Dukeys are looking popular. Hi, Janet. Faff, yeah, we like Faff. And you've gone to Dukey now. Yep, Faff, you can't go wrong with a Faff. Rosemary is going to have to watch back as Puppy says it's walk time. Well, you've got to do what your puppy says. Vanya, I'm loving the applique as well. Now, when we do the bag club on Sunday, we are going to do some applique. I'm not revealing the bag. You'll see it tomorrow when you get your pattern and everything. But we will cover applique. So hopefully you're going to get a few tips. Oh, I tell you what I didn't put in the thing. If you've got some fusible web, get some fusible web for Sunday. Totally forgot about that. Where are we? Patricia would love one of those Dukies that only do straight stitch but a bit expensive. Yeah, put it on your Christmas list. See if someone else will treat you. Aha, always the best way. So Janet's got a brother, FSQ 180, and a Faff. And the Faff's awaiting repair.
Yeah.
All right, okay. 1950. I've never heard of a Sherwood. Blooming heck, you've got enough machines there, Janet. What have you got? 5 or 6 machines. Oh, Pat's got a brother and an Elna. Now, I've not used Elna, but I believe they're very good as well. Are they like? It's a bigger brand. Like Skoda. Is it Skoda Donis that's a Volkswagen?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think Elna is a Genome in disguise. Not sure. It's something like that. Margaret's got a 40-year-old Genome and she loves it. She only uses straight and zigzag. What did I say? And got a zipper foot and walking foot. Yeah, walking foot is really good. And she learnt on a treadle machine at school. Yeah. See, years ago when we first started doing classes, there was a lady came and she used to bring an old black Singer, a wind-up one. And every time she came, everyone else is on their electric machines, but they're not using them because we're all like watching this lady on the wind-up Joan. If you're watching Joan on the wind-up Singer, and all day long she was like tick 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 tick. So therapeutic.
Do you know something? Wendy that works down at Booth's. Me and Wendy spent hours in.
Do we need to know what you and Wendy spent hours doing? All right, okay.
Spent hours on sewing machines each,
Mm-hmm.
going around A4, doing like lines round it.
So why aren't you helping with our samples, Donis? Cat's
You
out
can't-
now.
You can't afford my services.
Cat's out now. Oh, we'll pay at usual rate. Yeah, Sally thinks Dukey would be good. Yep, I agree. Lynn loves her new machine and how the needle moves. Yep, needle position moving. That is fab. So, Lenny. Hello, Lenny. Lenny's got a brother. You're a brother? I thought you had a singer. Vanya, I do have fusible web. Right, just fusible web. Little bits of odds and ends of embroidery thread, but it doesn't matter if you don't have them tomorrow. Not tomorrow, Sunday. But yeah, if you only need a really small amount of fusible web. Patricia would love an overlocker that blows the threads through. Ooh, now we're getting technical, aren't we? Yes, Pat. Elna and Genome are the same company. I was right. Yeah. New Home became Janome 40. That's the name, New Home. I couldn't remember that. Oh, hiya, Carol. Carol's got a singer that her grandfather bought for her grandmother in 1921, May the 29th. And she's got the original receipt.
Wow.
It's signed over a 2D, 2 pence stamp. And she has a brother and she loves it, but she learnt to sew on the old singer. Lots of us learnt on them. Yeah, would not be without a walking foot. That's a top tip. Do you understand, everybody? So if you've got a walking foot, you do know what a walking foot does. And I don't have one to hand. So where your needle goes down into the machine, in the bottom, it's all ziggy-zaggy, right? That's called your feed dogs. And when you're sewing, they do this action. And what it is, the feed dogs are grabbing the fabric, let me do it sideways, and pushing it forward. They're grabbing it and pushing it. But when you're working on multiple layers, 3 layers, let's say, the feed dogs move the bottom layer faster than the top layer. So what that means is that your layers can just go a bit askew, but your walking foot puts pressure from the top. So it takes all the layers and puts them through together. So that's why a walking foot, you don't know that, Donis? That's why a walking foot is really good when you're using multiple layers. And most machines you can get a walking foot for. Pfaff, did you know, are the only machines that have it integrated. And it's like a black spur. Or I haven't seen any new Pfaffs recently, but the ones I have, it's like so you've got your needle comes down. And at the back of the needle, if I do it like as you're looking at the needle, so behind the needle, there's a black spur, and it so you've got your needle there, and this spur fits into the back of your foot, and then that puts additional pressure on so that it's 2 layers. So you don't need a specific walking foot with most of the Pfaff quilting machines. The dressmaking machines I've no idea about, but yeah, really good is that. So last year Mel bought an oven. I haven't heard of those, but it had a big throat space, big extension table, and scissor action. It's fab. Just bought a brother to use here. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Oh, hiya, Claire. Claire's got a 35-year-old new home. Maybe time for an upgrade. Hey, if it's working, stick with it. These old machines, I've got a black singer here that was my grandma's, and the singers, they've got a registration number for those of you who don't know, and you can see when the machine was registered. And mine, formerly hers, was registered in 1895, I think.
What?
Yeah, they've got the instruction manual in it and everything. I don't know whether I've got the receipt. Still works.
So the singer that my mum uses, that was originally a hand crank one that was converted to electric.
Yeah, and it'll have the registration on, and you can go online, put the registration in, and you can see when it was made. Pat's got a treadle, a Frister, and a Rosman. All new names there. And 4 old hand crank machines. She collects old machines, and some of them are beautiful. Go on thesaleroom.com. There's loads on there cheap. You just have to make sure you can get to them because they're too heavy to post. But Novum, right? Yeah, I've heard of that one. Lynn has a Janome, a new type of walking foot, but not tried it yet. Do you know what? I've got the same with mine, and I'm a little bit. Yeah, I agree. Hiya, Jill. Right. Anyway, so because I'm like a disaster with the car bump yesterday, I was asked to get the Heron and Kingfisher cushions out, and to be honest, I'm not sure where they are. I've had a quick look, but I'm a bit stiff for pulling boxes out. But what I did do, because Vanya asked for a better look at Helga Elderberry and Nutkin. So I thought I'd show you. Now, these two are like a little pair, aren't they? I've got to say, the faces are calico, and I don't like the calico in the camera. It's a bit shiny. But if I come close, can you see that she's got a little bit of blusher on? Just like it's not really showing up. But her face is blushed, like your makeup. And her ears are, can you see her ears have got, no, it's not really showing. Tiny little bit of blush on the ears as well. Roberta is really good at that. and her mouth is just, so it's got a depression in there, and she's drawn like a pinky pen. She's rubbed a pencil. It's like showing it a little bit in there. And the eyes are just simple black dots. If you're using pens, always test on a scrap first. So she's really easy. When Roberta designs the dolls, she's not a dressmaker, and she doesn't make the clothes to come on and off. And sometimes, but if they've got a shirt underneath, it might just be at the front and it might be stitched to the bodies, which makes it really easy. You don't have to have like a degree in dressmaking. And here, look, instead of hemming the clothes, she's just snipped them to make them raggedy. Now, if you're using different fabrics, you can always find a different way to use those. And then you see the pantaloons, would you call them? They're actually stitched to her legs. But I really like, she's got the boots. Where are we? It's just 2 pieces together, and look, easy peasy. So there's no soles in them. Really easy to make. And what she tends to do is, yes, this is the same, makes the body, I'll do a better demo at some point, makes each limb independently and then puts it onto the body. In fact, if you saw Sewing Street the other day, last Friday, Reggie Rabbit's done the same way. You make his body, and her head's done differently, but you just put the limbs on, put the limb on, and then you sew straight from one side through to the other and back again. And you can actually get doll needles or mattress needles that are like really long and will go all the way through. And you can, if you want, put a button or a bead on the arm at this end. And then she's got like loads of little detail, look. So what Roberta's done is she's made the bucket there and stuffed the bucket, and these kind of berries are just placed on top, so you can't quite see, but she's put a piece of purple fabric on the top of the stuffing so that it looks like the basket is full.
What?
Yeah, what's she done there? Oh, that is, I'll tell you what she's done for the pom-pom. She's cut a strip, she's tacked it through the middle and drawn up the threads, and that's given her, look, this kind of ruched thing that she's then stitched to the end of the hat. Hat's simple. Now you see how this hat, it looks all ruched. What she's done, she's put the needle in here, and then she's gone through to a place, just gone straight through and back, and pulled it so that it's caused it to, it won't easily stand up. You can kind of see where she's been going in, and she's been kind of gathering it from inside, which makes it look, gives it this saggy, lived-in effect. And she does the same with the faces. She's better to look at the face. So what she's done with the face, can you see there's like depressions here and there and all over? So what she does, and this is a technique for cloth dolls, you go in at the back of the head with your needle. So always with the dolls, with the faces, mock one up first. It's calico, it's not expensive, but then you know what you're doing. So you mark on your points on the face, and then you go from the back of the head out, like through the eye, let's say, and then back to the back of the head, and you pull the thread, and when you pull it, it makes a depression. See that? I don't know if you can really tell that there's depressions where the eyes are. They're only subtle. And then, yeah, and then what she's doing is from the back of the head through to the other eye and pull. And oftentimes, depending on the doll, she might do 2 or 3 places on the nose and pull from the back to create a ridge. Helga's face is made in profile, so hers is already, she's got a nose on. I'm trying to, I don't think she's stitched, she hasn't stitched her mouth. That's part of the shape of the thing, but that's how you do them. You stitch and pull and tug. Yeah, she's yeah, so she's got, let's have a look up here. So she's naked when you get up here. It's just calico, you see? And her hair is just simple strips, just plaited. And then she like snipped it all up and at the end. And then we've got Nutkin here. He's got the same boots with these curly up toes. The toes, she's stitched, I think, if memory serves, it's like a running stitch along or from this end to that, I don't know which, and then she's pulled the thread. She's probably started at the toe, and as she's pulled the thread from this end, it's caused his boots to curl up, and that gives, you know, so they were flat and then curls up, gives that, and then just like fraying string. So that's garden twine, and she's just unravelled it to go around. It looks great, doesn't it? And he's got his little pouch there, which that's got a base in. Hi, Louise. How are we doing? Look at his acorn hat. Now, I can't remember. Oh, she's just, we can see, look, she's just cut loads of pieces. And, oops, hang on. She's cut lots of pieces there and just stitched them onto his head. So as you go around in rows, you start at the bottom and each one overlaps, and then on the top, she's joined 3 together with a bit of rolled up stuff to make that stalk, and then just like put them all on in one go. And his hair is just chopped up bits there that's stitched onto the back of his head. He's really clever, isn't he? I like how his tummy button's sticking out. Can you see that he's got a depression? And again, she's come from the back, she's stitched through to the front, pulled the thread to the back, and then pulled it and ended it off over here. He's got his little water carrier, which is just really cute. So I always think these would look really good in other colours too. When I sent her the fabric to make these, I did expect them to come back a bit more purpley. I mean, I love what she's done. But yeah, they'd look good they'd look really good in other colours. In fact, do you know what? If you put some orange in him, because he's nooking, made him a bit more autumnally, that could be a good way to go with him. So I hope that helps, Vanya, with what you were asking. You could do them for every season. Yeah. Where are we, Mel? Amazing how long machines last. My big sister has my mum's Menina that's about 44 years old. Golly. And Liz, we've read that one, I think, haven't we? Yeah. Dukey for Jill. Oh, no, we haven't. Frister and Rosman was a German brand. I've never heard of that. Jessica's got a... What's Jessica got? A Genome. Yep, another in the Genome gang. Yeah. They are great, aren't they, Pen? Roberta, I haven't asked her to do any new dolls since the Create and Craft debacle. But I do have 3 that you've never seen. And they're going to be coming out soon. We've actually taken some time out since the Create and Craft thing. We have put new stuff out, but we haven't actively like we used to do. But we do have quite a few new designs that are brewing quietly away, simmering away, and then we're kind of going to go ta-da! Tomorrow I am going to be working on the Lake District quilt, doing the quilting, because Michaela's here for her, well, it's not monthly, it's like, she meets 6 times a year, but it's not bi-monthly, they do their own thing. So she's here tomorrow, so I'm going up to the class and I'm taking our Lake District quilt. I'm hoping to get a good way on with the quilting, although last time I only put about half a dozen stitches and I spent too much time doing this. You'd be surprised to hear. Right, the other thing that I was going to heckling from the back. The other thing that I was going to, yes, I want to try and make them. I have the tutorial, but it seems hard. We can help you if you get stuck. Don't worry. Right, the other thing that, and I think it might be you, Vanya, that asked for this, was book covers. Now, if you've never made a book cover, they are so simple. Right, so the hard thing for us about a book cover is trying to make them a bit more difficult, because otherwise it's like, why would you buy a pattern, or why would you buy your second pattern? So this one, which has never been released on Full Sail yet, this one here, which hopefully I'll be doing a class on in Carlisle. And if Leslie's watching, I got your message and never replied to you. I started to reply and then got distracted and never got back to you. So this one here, we've got, you've seen it before. Where are we? Hang on, just bear with me a sec. I'm trying to open the wrong bit. So it's fastened with the toggle, which I've just undone on its thing. And then we did this kind of flap to try and make it look a bit different. But your actual basic book cover, yeah, a basic book cover is the most simple thing in the world. Now, I can't, oh, don't worry, Jane. So this is easy, right? So we're just going to dispel myths on making a book cover. Disregard that bit there, it's flapping around, and I'm not even going to talk about that bit. It is Superior Sewing. Is that the name of it? I think it's Superior Sewing. So yeah, they've asked if I'll teach a class up there, and the ladies, in fact, Pat, you might remember them because they were at the retreat when we did this, and they asked if I would do that up in Carlisle. So that's the plan. I have no date in mind at this time. So right, so back to book covers. I'm not addressing this bit here. It's just your basic book cover. Right, so if you're making one, the most important thing to do is measure. So when we do a pattern, if an A5 book cover, you might think, oh yeah, that's easy peasy. But if your book is that thick and ours was this thick, our measurements are not going to work. So we tell you how to do your own. So what you need to do is measure your book. Now, if you measure your book open like that, disregard the pages, just the cover, that is a very different measurement from if you measure it with your book closed. So always measure with your book closed because it will measure bigger than if you measure it like that. So you're going to measure from the inside cover, because you need these, what we call these returns. Excuse me. You're going to measure from here out over the top and back up the other side there. You can always make it shorter, but making it longer is a bit harder. So you do that measurement. And then this is a really crude demonstration because I haven't cut anything, because I'm not cutting, and then wasting stuff. So usually you want 3 layers. You want your whatever fabric's on the outer, whatever fabric's on the lining, and then if you put wadding in, really important if it's cotton, not as much if it's wool, but I still like a wadding in there, and then it just makes it a bit more sumptuous. Yep, so you want your 3 layers. So you want your cotton right sides together with, hang on, I've got a piece of cotton here. I've got, I am making it up as I go along. You've got your piece of, uncut wool. You'll cut yours to the size you've measured. Right, so right sides together with your wadding on top. Now the wadding I use for a book cover, don't worry whether it's cotton, whether it's polyester, it's an offcut. It's whatever offcut you've got. And actually I think in our form would probably work too. In fact, I'm not even sure if we haven't used it. So the wadding we use, see, it's really thin stuff. And if you're new to patchwork and quilting, which Vanya, I know you are, think about this. Patchwork and quilting, it was make, do and mend. So you cut the good bits out of your old clothes, you patch them all together, and you wrap them around a threadbare blanket to make it last a bit longer. So that's all we're replicating, is a threadbare blanket. So you've got your layers, and it might seem a bit bonkers that you've got your wadding on top. Sew around 3 sides, up, over, back, down, and then leave it open at this end so that when you pull it through, yeah, obviously I haven't sewn this, you're going to pull it through, and can you see how the correct fabrics have come out? And as you're pulling it through, your wadding is going to disappear in the middle. So you've turned it through and you've now got a tube. Yep, I'm going to turn this one over. You've got a tube. I hope, let me know if you're learning something or if you're not learning anything or if you can add something to it. Oh, brilliant, Patricia. Oh, it'd be nice to see you up there. Oh, bye, Sheila. Is that particular? No, Jane, it's not quite yet, but it's going to be. So you've got your 3 layers that are all nicely sewn. Sew this last edge, turn your hemming, your seam allowance in, and just hand stitch that sewn. Now what you can do at this stage is you can top stitch around the whole piece, and it's just a long piece at this stage. If you top stitch round, what's going to happen is everything that's on the outside is going to stay on the outside, and everything on the inside will stay, on the lining side, and you're not going to get any rolling on that top. Now you can make your top stitch, you can do You could do a matching thread, which this one here, I'm going to hold it up. You see it's a matching thread. It's right on the edge. You see there's hardly any, oops, just up here, right at the top. There's hardly any stitch to see. Sue's used a matching thread as close as she can to the edge. Or you could get a nice embroidery thread and do an attractive running stitch round, or cross stitches or whatever, because it's just for decoration, and do it like a 1/4 inch in or whatever. But that, in fact, you can see the top stitching better on there. It's this, oops, this stitch that goes all the way around. That is, can you see how those layers are completely sharp now? It doesn't matter what's going to happen to this, but that edge there is going to stay sharp because of the top stitching. So once you've done that, and it doesn't get any simpler than making just a rectangle, does it? So once you've got your rectangle, and I'm going to switch to just one layer now because it makes it easier managing. Open your book, put your, oh, hang on, let me use the pink because it's going to stand out though, which is not cut to size, by the way. Put your rectangle on the inside and go all the way around. Oops. Bringing your rectangle in on the other side. Of course, you're going to even it up. You can see what I've done there. And then quite simply stitch the top. Now, it might be that you can machine stitch close to the edge there, or it might be that you hand stitch over the top. And that is as simple as a book cover is. Now, measurement wise, for your actual basic book cover, I think what we always do is measure the height and add an inch. I know you'd use like 1/4 inch for your seam allowances, but you're fitting something chunky in there. So I would add an inch, and then you've got plenty left that will go, if I can just show you here, I'm going to sneeze in a sec. It's slightly bigger, excuse me, slightly bigger top and bottom. There you see, you've got a little bit of an overhang. So by adding an inch, so you've measured this, I don't know, let's say that's 8 inches high, I don't know what it is, and you've cut your fabric at 9 inches high, that's giving you 1/4 inch seam allowance top and bottom, plus this extra that's hanging over top and bottom. Because the worst thing would be a nice book cover and then your book is escaping out of the top, you know, that would not be a good look, would it? So just add that extra inch. And likewise, your seam allowance is going to be, you know, it doesn't really matter because you've measured probably quite a way in. So you're going to have plenty on these returns. And the only thing then you need to do is during your making, you would put a pretty applique on. You could just like, I'll tell you what we've done for some book covers. We've just made a panel, just decorated it. And once it's decorated, stitch it on your finished book cover. That way, you know, you're making that separately. That's as simple as I've just shown you, and you just bosh, putting it on, stitch around the sides, and that's it. So let's say, for instance, Vanya, I'm talking to you again. Thank you, Fiona. I know you've just done the heart-shaped, you know, the hanging hearts. You could take that design and you could make a heart. Obviously, you'd have to think about the size of your book, and you could put the heart on there. That's, you know, a beautifully decorated book, completely unique. And, or like, for instance, if you've got this, I'm looking here at the lollipop flowers, you could put some lollipop flowers on, make an arrangement, you know, sticking them up, anything that you've got in another design anywhere else. Fiona, you're wanting to do the, when the boat comes in, you could take, I don't know, the whales, you could put a big whale over a book cover, and they're absolutely ideal for using up scraps and making as gifts. Because thank you, Pen, because if you're going to use up scraps, it's not going to cost you anything. And if you're going to make a book cover, you can buy your books, you know, like going to B&M or whatever, pick your books up cheap as chips. So you can cover a notebook, even personalize it, and you've got a whole set of Christmas gifts for peanuts using scrap fabric that probably you wouldn't have a home for. I mean, if you're patchworking, you could piece your scraps together. Think about your chuffing puffins that you've just done, Vanya. Piece your scraps together and just have a pieced cover. It doesn't have to be plain. And there you go. So that's today's lesson. So no, I haven't booked it yet. They've asked me to go. That's as far as we've got. And I told them in person that I would go, but I haven't told them formally on a message. If I think on, I'll do it later. Jane, me again, I've read that one. Thank you about the toadstools pen. Oh, yeah, that one is Lazy Days. That's by Michaela Smith. I've been displaying it ages and it needs finishing. In fact, I took it on Create and Craft. In the month that we did the Blackbird block, you can't tell from your distance. He hasn't even got an eye, and they pound right in. And I was like, there's loads of things that are missing off it. I need to have a good sit down and finish. This one here, there's loads of little French knots need to go on that one. But just proves that you can simplify if you want to. In fact, there's some of these lollipop flowers. I don't think you can quite see. There's a row up there. I didn't forget. Here, look, there's another row there. And you've got 2 leaves on that one, and then I ran out of time, so probably need to go back and finish that. Might take it on Sewing Street, you never know. So right, so we've had a good look at some projects. Have a think if there's not just our projects, but if there's a thing that you want a quick run through on, I'm more than happy to use these sessions to help you out. Could be a patchwork block, could be well, we've done book covers now. We did a plique a while ago, but I'm more than happy to recap on that. Or any projects of ours that you've got or that you're thinking of getting or anything like that, just let me know. And likewise, I'm working my way through doing PDFs, so the digital downloads. If there's any of our designs which you would like us to put onto a download, let me know, and I can work on that, because it makes sense to me to do what you're wanting as opposed to me just fishing around in the dark. So yeah, I will, Patricia, as soon as I've booked a date, I will let people know. And if you're in that Carlisle area, it would be wonderful. Like when we went to the retreat, I met you, Pat, and obviously I've met you in the Zoom classes that we've done. You've contributed loads of times, so you feel like you're friends with somebody, but we'd never met. And it was absolutely wonderful to meet, and I feel like I know you now. And Beverly, when I met you at Malvern the other week, it was wonderful to put a face to a name and stuff. And then when I look back at things, and I'm like, oh yeah, you commented then and this, and it starts to make sense, doesn't it? So right, so for tonight, shall we call that a do? Shall we? What time is it? I don't know. We're in time for soaps tonight. I'm going to go and have a bath and ease my back off. Lynn, did I get the message about the bag pattern? Not sure. I shall have a check. I'll have a look. Let me just make a note of your name. Well, yeah. Anybody else got any messages? Fiona, you want the? Oh, I'll tell you, Fiona, what I need to do. I've cut your blocks, but I haven't broken up the instructions into month by months. But do you know what I could do? What I might do, because it's you, Fiona, is I might just send the book out in one go, and then you can just get the instruction, get the fabrics bit by bit. Would that work better for you? Just thinking. It would save me a job. And it would speed things up too. So yeah, I'll just send the instructions out all in the book, and then instead of putting them in each month. Does that make sense? But anybody got any other things that I need to look at? Vanya, you wanted a PDF doing, and I can't remember which one I need to, but the one you wanted was a full book, so I need to, that's going to take me a while. Well, it is taking me a while to do. You have the book. Oh, brilliant then. Right, okay. So I'll just send it out as the fabric. Is that okay? I might put you a different book in as a as a different thing, and then it's worth your while. Is there another book that you haven't got? And I'll just send you that instead of doing the instructions month by month. That'll make us quits, won't it? So, right. Yeah, so if that's it, everybody, I am going to love you and leave you. The sleeping one with owls. Yeah, it was Best of the Night, I think, wasn't it? Best of the Night, yeah. So I've just re-put that on my list. I've got it on one of my other lists. Yeah, so when I'm doing the whole books, it does depend whether, like, if some of the patterns, and I can't tell you off the top of my head, are too big to break down to A4. So if I do a PDF, the patterns have got to be on A4 paper, because if you're printing out at home, that's the size you're printing on. So if it's a pattern that we did when we were doing everything on A3 and it's yay big, if it doesn't condense down, it does restrict me. But I mean, it should be okay on most things. So yes, Win, have I seen your name already tonight? Sorry, I'm a blur. Yes, if you missed the start, you will get your parcel tomorrow. So I was in a bit of a car accident yesterday, nothing major, but it just knocked me off my thing, and I should have gone to the post office yesterday, but I've sent them out today, special delivery, and they will all arrive tomorrow, which is really annoying because I had to pay extra for the Saturday delivery, but hey ho. Yeah, please, Fiona, if you would do that, that would be great. Yeah, so Jane, just save this post and then you've got your basic instructions. But once you've got your first book cover pattern, you're away, then you just adapt and adapt and adapt. So pick one off the website. I think there is the KW Jetta is as a digital download already. Yeah, there's a few on there. Just go and pick what you like. Yeah. So your basic book cover instructions I've just given you for free. But if you want the designs, then obviously we've got to make a living. So yeah, I am okay, thank you. Yeah, so you'll get special delivery tomorrow, Win, and I will see you on Sunday. So right, Patricia's got the right idea. Good night, and I am off for a slonk in the bath. So thank you everyone for joining in, and I love you all loads. So for now, thank you. Keep your private messages coming, and I will answer and deal with them as, you know. Thank you. Love you all. Bye.